Moonbeam is an Ethereum-compatible smart contract parachain on Polkadot. Smart contract eligible means that it allows you to build decentralized applications, exactly like you can build on Ethereum with the same software development kit. But Moonbeam is not limited on just one network. It operates on a multi-chain network. Ethereum developers are able to use their smart contract platform language and bring it on Polkadot network, one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies, to take advantage of the lower fees and probably many other blockchains in the future. Polkadot has been founded in 2016 by Dr. Gavin Wood, Ethereum co-founder and chief technology officer, until late 2015. They then launched the main net in April 2020. Polkadot's central blockchain, called Relay Chain, is not smart contract compatible, but it has a second layer of blockchains, which are called parachains. They are smart contract compatible, and they plug into the main blockchain. Polka has a maximum capability of 100 parachains that can connect to the main blockchain. They do a selection with auctions to see who are the most supported and promising projects on the network, and Moonbeam is one of the first. Polkadot holders can lend their native token to fund these parachain. In exchange, they get the project's tokens at a discounted price, and after a period of time, they get their DUT back intact. Keep this in mind, because this is what drove the price down for Moonbeam until now. This is the team behind Moonbeam. It is a stable, large team composed by developers, engineers, and entrepreneurs. The CEO is Derek Yu. He has many years of engineering experience and seems the right person for this project. He also works on Moon River, which is the project sister of Moonbeam. I am not going into details of this project, but it is a sort of experimental version on another blockchain, Kusama. Moonbeam and Moon River have both been built by Pure Stake, which is a company focused on providing the highest quality infrastructure and services for public blockchain networks, with the main priorities being security, availability, and features. It has been funded by Moonbeam Foundation, which is dedicated to promoting the development, growth, and adoption of Moonbeam and its ecosystem. Moonbeam is the first fully functional parachain that has just launched in January. However, the network's development never stopped, even if we are in a bear market period. As mentioned before, it is a smart contract platform, which allows you to build decentralized applications, and it is Ethereum compatible. This will enable a large amount of Ethereum's developers to use Ethereum-based tools to build on Polkadot. They will be able to do so with some extra facilities, which includes, most important of all, lower gas fees, and they will also have access to a bigger market, as they will be multi-chain interoperable decentralized apps. It will not be limited on Ethereum blockchain only. Lastly, to keep in mind, Moonbeam allows to easily redeploy existing Ethereum smart contracts on Polkadot, and as the network grows, we will probably see always more projects migrating on the network. The Moonbeam platform extends the base Ethereum's feature set with additional features. Glimmer is the native token and powers the network. It is a governance token, so on-chain governance will allow holders to propose and vote on the future of the project. Compared to Ethereum, staking on Moonbeam, it has a much lower amount needed and much higher returns, at the moment especially. On Ethereum, you need a quite large sum of money to stake, which can be inconvenient for people with an average income. Fees on the network are also paid with Glimmer token, something to keep in mind, as the demand will definitely increase once more and more projects will launch, and obviously this will positively impact the price. If we look into the projects that are already building on the blockchain, we can see that the ecosystem is rapidly expanding and hundreds of projects are getting built on top. However, the platform launched in January, so we will not have a positive impact on the price immediately, because it takes some time for the ecosystem to expand. But what is important is that the development never stops for the network and token to prosper in the future. These are the investors behind Moonbeam. Here we can see big investors like Binance Labs, Bitcoin.com, Hashkey, and Coinbase Ventures. They have the right investors to back them up, even if it is a very small project, and I think this is very promising, and it could be a very positive sign. If we now look into tokenomics, Glimmer is the native token of the Moonbeam blockchain, and it is a governance token, as mentioned before. It has a 5% annual inflation rate, which is to pay for ongoing security needs on the network. It has a maximum supply of 1 billion tokens and around 900 million tokens in circulation, so most of the maximum supply has been released in these months, with a high percentage staking. It has the same functionality and utility as Ethereum, but it is not limited in one ecosystem. It is going to be always more interoperable. So as the ecosystem will grow, people will buy the token to use it to pay for the smart contract execution. All the transactions fees will be paid with the token, and then 80% of these fees gets burned. The other 20% goes to the network's treasury for future development. Lastly, you can stake it for good rewards. The minimum amount to stake is 50 tokens, and considering the current price is $1.27, you will have to stake just $70 as least amount for a 96% annual per year return at the moment. This percentage already decreased a lot, and it will decrease and stabilize lower over time as the supply is reaching the maximum amount. Once this happens, and they stop issuing so many new tokens, we will have a drastic fall in new tokens release, and the demand is set to increase as the network gets more mature, which will drive the price higher. The total amount staked is quite low at the moment, representing just 13% of the total circulating supply. This decreased in the past months as many were staking for the high returns. Now these investors are exiting, and those with the goal of remaining invested in the project for the long term will stay, and eventually this should grow as the community grows. The staking rewards initially are that high because they want to distribute the tokens and incentivize the adoption of the network. Keep in mind that if you delegate, you have to be in the top 300 delegations by stake to earn rewards. To do that, you need to use a supported wallet. MetaMask, for example, from their platform, you need to select a collator and make sure you are in the top 300. Most of them have around 350 delegations, so if you are the smallest amount staked with these delegators, you will not get rewards. You need to select and delegate to a collator with 300 delegations maximum, or delegate a large amount to do not be under ranked 300. After that, you will start earning rewards daily, after 12 hours, and you can unstake at any time, as there is no minimum lock time period. Looking at the roadmap, they only have it until launch in January. It doesn't seem to be up to date for the future. They completed Moon River launch on Kusama, which is a companion network to Moonbeam and provides a permanently incentivized canary network that runs on Kusama network. And now, they just launched the Moonbeam on Polkadot network. They are going to definitely continue the development and improvement of the project as hundreds of projects are building and launching on the blockchain, like the first decentralized exchanges and other DeFi protocols. In May, they enabled cross-consensus messaging between parachain on the Polkadot. Moonbeam announced that they enabled cross-chain connection with Akala network and Polkadot. Now you can actively use their tokens on the network for things like decentralized exchanges and other applications. In the near future, we can expect always more connections to be enabled, which will expand the Moonbeam market exposure. If you want to keep track of the developments, you can check their news and announcements section directly on the website. You can subscribe to the newsletter, or you can follow their official Twitter page, which has 254,000 followers, and it has grown by 30% in the past months. Here, the community interacts daily, and they are very active. Lastly, you can join Telegram, Discord, or subscribe to their YouTube channel, where you will find many developments updates as well as very simple to understand tutorials. If we look at the price, when it first launched, it had a spike to reach around $23 per coin. It then went slowly down in the following months to reach around $2 per coin, as it had a previous resistance. It then broke this resistance with Bitcoin falling more in the past months, and it is now at 1.20 range. This initial downtrend was mainly caused by the large amount of tokens being released with the high percentage of staking. The vest period from which investors bought the tokens at very low prices months before launch got unlocked, which caused further sell pressure. And lastly, we are clearly in a bear market, looking at how Bitcoin has performed in the past months, which caused many investors to sell their token and move into more secure assets. Its market capitalization, it is around $1 billion, which is quite low considering what potential this project has. However, the market cap did not decrease that much, which shows us that the price went down mainly because of the new tokens released in circulation, and this has now almost reached its maximum supply. If the sell pressure is not that high, and the released supply slows down as we approach the maximum supply, the demand will start growing and the price will easily go up, as it is down 95% from the all-time high at launch. Moonbeam is the first fully functional parachain launched on Polkadot, and we can kind of compare it to Ethereum that has always more access to other networks. It is extremely undervalued, and I think this project will have bright time ahead once Bitcoin starts going up again. and the whole crypto market turns bullish. In those market conditions, it had a spike to around $2 billion market cap at the launch in January when the supply was much higher. After that, it had a slow decline and another short bounce. It has a lot of potential, and it is undervalued. But if Bitcoin goes further down, I wouldn't be surprised if Moonbeam token goes even lower, as the market capitalization did not go that much down. I think it plays a major role in the blockchain ecosystem. The future must be interoperable, and they provide the solutions for this, so I am positive for Moonbeam in the future. This is it for today's video. Let me know what is your opinion on this project, and if you hold any.